The Umbrella Corporation. Our business is life itself. This podcast episode is brought to you by nothing.
Try it for free.
You know what? Everybody has to make a living. But I don't know what's going on with people. There's a lot of folks who are doing this, like marketing. They've been doing it for years now. This internet marketing thing, this Facebook marketing thing. There was a guy at a restaurant that I was playing music at. This dude, I can tell because I know enough about computers and the internet that this dude was basically scamming people. But, you know, a lot of things are a scam. But this dude was scamming the restaurant owners. He was running their social media and this kind of thing. And this group, this type of person, you know, I hate to type people, but you have to do that in order to speak. Because if you're trying to get an idea across or say something, you have to start somewhere. But this group of people, it feels like they used to be the ones who would take you to the hotel. You know, I don't know if you ever had anybody take you to a hotel for some sort of like pyramid scheme. Like you walk in there and they're kind of like elusive about what it is exactly. And you go in there and there's a dude standing in the front with some suit on and a nice watch. And he starts drawing on a board and it ends up looking like a pyramid. And you get these people under you and you get these people under you. It's like this whole like motivational life coach-y thing, and it's like all tied together in my eyes as like a people who are, you know, they're looking for a form of independent income, which is a good thing. Everybody has to make a living somehow, but it's annoying to me, and I don't know what to tell you. You know, I'm not mean to any of these people. I like several of these people that I know. And but that thing is, we never talk about that, because if we do start talking about it, then I'm going to start talking about this aspect of it. And I mean, hopefully I would have the social skills to not talk about it, which has been good so far. Now, on the last podcast that I just uploaded yesterday, I was talking about the city that I live in, Jacksonville. And, you know, I'm going to start reading the handful of emails that I get about the shows that I do. And you know, people complain about my complaints about this place. And I don't really complain. I just make observations. You know, sometimes I complain, I guess. But, you know, I'm from, if you don't know, Jacksonville, Florida. I've heard friends of mine from Los Angeles call it the armpit of the United States and stuff like that. They don't know what they're talking about necessarily. The armpit would be, I think, on the inside in the Gulf, like as physically, like it looks more physically like an armpit. But anyway, the city here, if you don't know about it, it's a city. They call it the biggest small town in America. Some people here, because it's a big city. It has a lot of sprawl. And the population is like at 1 million, but the actual city side of it is kind of iffy. Anyhow, here you run into some people that are really diehard into this place. I mean, they own property here. I guess I would be too. If I owned houses here, I would want this place to do better for ulterior motives, for, I guess, more selfish motives. And also, you know, I want the place to where I live anywhere to do well. I want it to be a cool place. Wouldn't it be great if I didn't feel like I had to move somewhere in order to have a type of life with things available that I would like to have available to me? That would be fantastic, wouldn't it? But at the same time, I don't get when people are really diehard about this place. Because, for example, I'm from Southgate, California. That is in Los Angeles County. It's basically, overall, it's Los Angeles. But it's a part of Los Angeles called Southgate. Nobody knows where Southgate is, really. I bet you don't know that Slayer, the metal band, if you know who that is from there. And I bet you don't know that Cypress Hill is from there. And I'm from there. The most famous one. But besides that, you don't hear me going around not even when I lived there, going around Southgate, yeah, because I knew that the place where I lived was very humdrum. And then see now, man, I can't say anything. You can't say anything. Like everything, you open your mouth, somebody's gonna get mad at you because everybody could potentially hear this, right? Now my friends from Southgate who still live there are gonna be mad at me, Tom and Ruben, if you still go there. Hey, you know what? I love you guys, but you got to admit the city, it's an average, like a humdrum, like a place, Now, the side of Southgate that I lived on, like there's a nice side of Southgate. I didn't live on the nice side of Southgate. I lived over by the train tracks by like Long Beach and Firestone Boulevard. Anyhow, I don't go around, yelling that. There was a couple of dudes on my block who would be like that. They would identify with the street that we're on. That's kind of common in a big city. But yeah, I just don't get it. I don't understand what is so painful or depressing even. It's inconsequential to me to acknowledge the position and the place that you're at for what it is. I mean, it's a beautiful thing, really, to be frank with yourself and everybody else. You got to dream. You dream big, but where you're at, you got to be honest with yourself. It's like if you go to the gym because you want to get buff, and you right away you start picking up like 125 pound barbells. Like it's not going to work. You can, I guess, get some barbells that are fake and make it look like you're lifting 125 pounds, which is more like Instagram and Facebook, what goes on in those places, right? People do a lot of virtue signaling or value displaying and putting their lives on display in a way that it's really not. But it's cool. There's a helicopter flying over right now. Let me see. Do I have anything else to say for like carrying over from my last podcast about Dallas? I don't know. I think I pretty much covered everything there. It's a great place. And I miss my family. And you know what though? My brother, check this out. I go there and I went to my brother who's never played in a band in his whole life, right? He's like in his mid 40s. And my brother is in a band now and he's the lead singer and he's playing the congas at the same time. And I went to go see his band rehearse and I effing loved it. It was amazing to see something like that. If you can imagine, I walk in there into the rehearsal space. He invites me over there, and then they start playing this cumbia music and like boom. It was a lot of fun. There was a full band, a drummer, a bass player, an accordion player, a bajo quinto player, that Mexican guitar with the double strings, and him singing and playing the conga on the cowbell. So that was pretty cool, man. And I guess I should promote my podcast more because I don't promote it at all, really. I act like I don't care. And that's a problem because a large part of me does not care. And that's fine and all. But now as a father, I feel like I need to think about things in a different way, that this kind of venture should at least produce some form of significant income, and my gigs. See, I'm primarily a musician, but even my gigs, I don't promote my gigs. I don't promote my music. I'm just kind of like, you know what? If you don't want to listen to it, don't listen to it. And that's not a very good attitude to have. But I imagine maybe a lot of musicians have the attitude. I don't know. I once joked around with a friend of mine, Shelton. He asked me where my gigs were. Actually, he was interviewing me for a magazine. And he asked me, where are my gigs at? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't remember. I know where I'm playing tonight and tomorrow, but I can't remember the rest. And I told him that I could be the only musician where all my gigs are a secret. And like, nobody, you have to find out. You have to try to find out where my gigs are. That would never work because frankly, nobody really gives a shit that much. Very few people do. But that would be an interesting take on the music industry. A musician that doesn't want to tell anybody where he's playing at, and you have to find out. I once had a similar idea for my website. Like somebody goes to my website, you have to play a game and unlock it in order to even see it. That would not work either. I wish I could do that. I wish I had the time to do that kind of thing. Maybe I can come up with an alter ego and then make a website and do that. But yeah, so I play music. You should come out to my gigs. I'm playing at the Casbah this coming Wednesday, and I'm playing at the Brick on Thursday. And I was doing some gigs over in San Marco at Indochine for a while, but I don't know what happened with that. I haven't been doing that lately. They're all nice areas. If you ever make it out to Jacksonville, go to Riverside, go to Avondale, go to the beach, go to San Marco. They're cute places. They're pretty places, and you should definitely take advantage of the waterways, like get a kayak and go through the creeks. Not on the main river. It's kind of rough sometimes. It's a big river. But that's about it. I don't even know why I'm talking to you right now. I'm just waiting on my wife. She's playing with the kids outside, and we're supposed to go to Costco because we got to buy dog food because my dog needs some food. I have some sort of cold going on here, and I don't understand how my little baby, so I guess she's a toddler now, 1-year-old, how could she knock a grown man down like that with her little boogers? So it's almost identical to what I saw her go through, except mine is on a larger scale. There's more lung and more mucus and more throat to be sore. I thought about not doing a podcast like this, but fuck it. My lady's away with the kids at her friend's house who owns a yoga studio. The lady who owns the yoga studio is white. In case you were wondering. I like saying shit like that. Out here where I live in the South, this is the South, I guess. People don't say it's not exactly the South, but it is. Trust me, if you walk around here, you'll realize it's South. But I like saying shit like that because there's a lot of white folks out here and they get upset. Why you gotta be about race? I'm like, all you gotta do is look back at photographs of like 40 years ago. You could ask the same question. Why you gotta be about race? It's like there was black water fountains and white water fountains and black restrooms and white restrooms. I have a friend who can remember black restrooms and colored restrooms, and he's black, he had to use the colored restroom. Why you gotta be all about race? The black people didn't put those signs there. There's what the fuck is going on with this cat? Every time I start trying to do a podcast, a cat starts screaming outside. But yeah, African Americans, they didn't put those signs there. They didn't make things the way that they were. They didn't design their own adversities there. It's a complicated issue, and it's not as complicated as people make it out to be nowadays. What I mean is, the if somebody ignores the fact that there was even governmental policies that were geared towards oppressing African Americans, they're not gonna know what they're talking about. But it's a pretty infuriating subject. It's infuriating to me when you encounter people out here so many times, European Americans who they just don't even know about all that stuff. They don't know about they know about Martin Luther King, and they say that Malcolm X is evil because Martin Luther King is for peace and Malcolm X is for violence, and that's not the case. Sometimes I think I like Malcolm X more than Dr. King. I like them both, but the things that they were talking about, Malcolm X was very bold, and he wasn't just being sensationalist. He was talking about real things. So this is what's going on over here. I can stop paying attention to it. But yeah, my wife is over there with the kids at this lady's house who owns a yoga studio, and the whole yoga scene is I don't even know about it. What can I say? I've never really been to a yoga class. I went to one yoga class, but I figure it's getting saturated. My wife's taking yoga teacher training right now, but I figure it's getting saturated. Like, remember back when people were really into massage therapy, like in 2003 or something like that, or 2004. Maybe not even that. Excuse me. Like, I'm dying over here. Not really. But remember back in, like, let's say like 2000 or maybe before that or a little after that, you can be like, yeah, you could quit your job and go to massage therapy school and actually make some money. But that market is super saturated now, from what I know of it, which is not much. It just seems that way. It just seems people aren't really making money at massage therapy anymore. And then if they are, they're doing that, and then they also got a day job or they're doing something else. But you have to build up your clientele for that kind of thing. And that kind of job is hard on your hands. Playing music is hard on your hands. Playing the guitar, classical guitar, flamenco guitar, it's hard on your posture. You got to sit playing the music, and if you're playing an instrument like the one that I play. But massage therapy is. Why am I talking about this? It doesn't matter. We're just talking, right? I'm just talking to you, and you're listening to me, and thank you very much. But massage therapy is hard on you. Can you imagine how hard it is on your hands? That's why people who know what they're doing, they start using their elbows. They start putting their body weight into it. Yeah, you know what? I swear, I briefly considered becoming a massage therapist for like a little while. And I might have to do that now if I can't sing, because I have this cold. I might have to do that this week. Become a massage therapist. And you know what? I'm watching this show called Mr. Robot. Are you familiar with this show? I can't say that I highly recommend it because I don't know you specifically, but Mr. Robot is a TV show, about a hacker basically, but it's not really about that. It's about it's about a lot more than that. And I'm pretty impressed with the show. I felt like it was gonna lose me, and I don't always make it to the second season of a show because I'm like, I don't even give a shit anymore.
And I don't like to binge watch. I don't do that because I get tired of the climate and the atmosphere and the characters. And so I don't do that because I'm like, man, get me out of here. So, it's I if you like what I like, I recommend it, Mr. Robot. I would say from the series that I watched, Game of Thrones is probably my favorite series, like recent series. Game of Thrones is probably number one. I like it because I like fantasy and I like swords and all that kind of stuff. I don't really care for the violence. That's not why I watch it. But I like dragons and White Walkers and this kind of thing. I just love it. And they have English accents because they always have English accents when there's swords. It'd be interesting to watch a film like that where people have like Mexican accents, Chicano accents. They'd be like walking up to the mountain, and instead of, I can't do that right now. I can't make voices right now. Anyway, Game of Thrones, I would have to say is number one, and Mr. Robot, I would have to say is number two. And then, like, below that, number three, maybe Rome, the series. Again, swords, right? But probably not number three. Stranger Things is good. I've been watching that, but I can't say it's my favorite. It's fun. And Wayward Pines, the first season, I loved it. It was great, but I can't say it's my favorite because, it's fun. So that would be like number 4 or 5 or 6. But Rome would definitely beat those two, Wayward Pines and Stranger Things would beat those just out of taste, for my taste. And I watched Westworld. Actually, Westworld beats the last two. It's just so well done. And Westworld is so well done, and the cinematography is good. And the thing is that the existentialist part of it to me is a little trite, but that's only because I've read so much and I've entertained that concept so much already. I'm like, I've thought about that and robots and what is existence and what is life and what is real and what is not. I've thought about that since, hell, I don't know, man, since I was like 16. I'm 43. It's like that theme for me personally, Alan Watts and Krishnamurti and Osho and philosophy and philosophers. And it's something I've spent a lot of time with. So for me personally, I'm just like, it's not blowing my mind in that sense. And, I'm not crazy about it. I like it, but I don't love it as much as other people that I know love it. So that's me just telling you about the TV shows that I've been watching. I've tried watching a couple other ones. I'm really careful about this though, man, because you spend time watching these things. Like, that's an hour of your life. If it's an hour-long show, that's an hour of your life. It's gotta do something for you creatively, like inspirationally. It's gotta show you something or move you in some way that is, positive, some way that makes man, I'm sorry, I can't think straight. A good mental artifact for you. Now I'm just getting crazy with these words. It's just gotta be good. It's just gotta be good for you. So having a sore throat sucks. And I can feel it moving down my chest. And I made a smoothie. But, I drink, it's a daily smoothie that I make, in case you don't know. It's a variation on this Joe Rogan Hulk Loads shake. But my daily smoothie is basically kale, cucumber, celery, chia seeds, hemp seeds, flax seeds, almond milk, an apple, a piece of jalapeno, a big piece of ginger, 4 pieces of garlic, coconut oil, some nuts. What else? And that's about it. And I put that in the blender and I drink it down. Nobody's ever joined me for for my smoothie because everybody's such a wuss, man. They're so like, oh my God, how can you? When I was out in Texas recently visiting my family, I still made it on their blender. It came out a little bit chunkier because they don't have a blender like the one we have. And yeah, they were like, you know, every once in a while I'll be somewhere and somebody's thinking that I'm doing it for shock value. I don't do that, man. It's pretty blatant when I do that. If I ever do that, something for shock value. But after you've been doing this for like a year and a half, I don't think that's for shock value anymore, or ever. I don't think that ever was. That's what I mean. So my smoothie didn't cure me because that's not how it works. But it's good. It's good stuff. This time I didn't have any kale though, so I just put like almost a whole bag of leafy greens in there. The kind that you buy at the store and they go bad really fast. So I guess I'll just rest and watch an episode of Mr. Robot. And I don't know, maybe I can watch TV or something. My kids were crawling all over me. Oh, man. And I'm achy, and they're jumping on top of me in the bed. It's like, oh, man. It's like they don't understand. They don't understand. But it's going to be interesting to be able to discuss more complex things with them than trying to get them to understand about the sun being up and the sun being down. And I hope you guys, I know this is short, but I'm sick. What the fuck? What do you want? You should be glad I'm talking to you right now. Yeah, I'd love to hear from you. If you want to email me, you could email me. You could email me at elucidateshow@gmail.com. And, maybe I'll start reading some of your questions and letters on the show. So also, if you'd like to donate to the podcast, you can do so at atlanticradio.blogspot.com. And there's a tip jar on there, which you can donate with. I don't have you know what? I got to get the Patreon thing set up. Society's kind of crazy right now, man. Like, everybody's asking for money everywhere. All the time, you're asking people for money on the internet. Everybody's asking for money. I go to the coffee shop, and I'm at the counter, and the dude says hi to me. I go to the coffee shop, and I'm going to pay for it. I'm going to get a latte or a coffee. And the dude asks me, how you doing today? And he looks down at his tip jar. He looks down at his tip jar, which is a microsecond. I'm just like, oh, shit. Here's the pressure. Put a tip in there. What? Because you said hi to me? This is where we're at, man. I'll tell you what, man. About 7 years ago, I started noticing the tip jars popping up everywhere. And I was like, wait a minute. People's wages are being outsourced to the customers. Like, the place isn't paying them enough, so they have to put a tip jar out there. So, I just had this t-shirt. I remember this t-shirt thing that I was going to do. Anyway, I'll talk to you soon. All right, peace. I love you. I hope you all stay healthy, and I hope you don't get sick. All right, bye-bye. While I was at my trip in Dallas, I was visiting family. Excuse me, I still have a cold. And my brother was, I gotta tell you, thank you, Mark Zuckerberg. Thank you for ruining my family life, because everybody's on their phone all the time now. Everybody's looking at their phone, and everybody's sticking their phone in my face, trying to show me a funny video. I fucking hate that. I don't know if I've told you this on the podcast before, but if you know me, if you hear this, don't stick a video in my face from your phone. It's not going to be funny. It's never funny. You know this already. It's not going to be funny. You're like, oh my God, this was so hilarious. I was laughing my ass off last night. Look. And there you are, standing at a bus stop or something, and the person's like sticking their phone in your face and you could barely hear it or whatever. And they're just standing there. Dude, just tell me what it is. Has people forgotten to do that? How to do that? So, my brother shows me this video. He said, look, bro. He said, look, this is how precious, how fleeting life can be. And it was a video of a guy and a girl walking down the street. I don't know if they were a couple. I think they were just walking to work together. And this girl are walking down the street near a highway. And then you see this big tire coming from the highway, just rolling fast on the highway. It just bounces and bounces, and it hits the guy in the back of the head, and it knocks him to the ground, and he doesn't get back up. And the girl nobody even realizes what the hell happened. Like, maybe the guy probably didn't even realize what the hell happened. He was either out cold or dead. Anyhow, the guy was not moving, and the girl starts crying. She keeps walking. She must have said something to the guy. Hey, you know what I mean? And he's not there. She looks back and he's on the ground. And then somebody else who saw the tire coming ran towards them and was checking the guy out, and she started crying. So, this video, you gotta stop watching shit like this. You know, you don't have to listen to me, but I'm telling you, if you do listen to me, if you listen to the podcast, you gotta stop watching this kind of stuff. Yeah, and I know, you know, my brother, Omar, if you're listening to this, I'm not trying to talk shit or anything, but stop watching stuff like that, man. It's like bad for you. It's bad for your brain. It's bad for everything. Look, it's not bad to see something like that every once in a while, but let's put it this way. That still flashes in my head. It wasn't gross. It wasn't gory. It wasn't violent. You know what was so gory about that is how non-eventful it was. How nonchalantly the guy either lost his life or was damaged beyond repair. So, you know, people forget. It's easy to forget when these people go online, and especially if they're trying to gear their side of an argument up. Let's say somebody hates Africa, and they're racist and they hate Africa, and they go online and they Google atrocities in Africa, and somebody's compiled terrible things that have happened in Africa. These kinds of things together like that is not going to happen to anybody. It's like unnatural. In one section of the clip, somebody gets their head chopped off. In another section, somebody gets stabbed. Another section, like 5 seconds later, somebody's stealing somebody. 5 seconds later, somebody's getting shot. This is a compilation of the most terrible of the most terrible. And I could put a video like that together of the United States, and I could say, look, this is what the United States is like. And it would be true that this is what it's like, but it's not like that altogether like that. It's easy to forget these kinds of things when you're looking at videos like this or this kind of media. So yeah, man, you know, what you're gonna take away from this little section here is don't stick your phone in my face trying to show me a video. Just tell me about it. I'd rather have you tell me about it. That would be much better. Oh man, it's so uncomfortable standing there. I'm gonna start being rude. Okay, baby. It's been a minute. And the other thing is, stop watching those depressing or gory videos. They're not good for you. If you need to check it out really quick, and you'll see what I'm talking about, and then step away from it. Don't ever go back. Hey, once you get the message, hang up the phone.
¿Qué pasó, baby?